Football's back.
Yeah. All right, our four-wide NFL preview series continues. Dave Choate joining us, editor-in-chief of the Falcoholic. He blogs on the Atlanta Falcons. Go to thefalcoholic.com. And Dave, great to have you back, man. How are you today?
Doing great, thanks.
I love the name of that, Falcoholic.
Yeah, man. It combines football and drinking, so of course it's a good thing.
Absolutely.
My two favorite things. Yeah.
Of course. Hey, Dave, let's start offensively. Obviously, you guys are my pick, by the way, to win the NFC South. Your offense, to me, is potentially unstoppable. It all starts with Matt Ryan. Let's talk about Matt Ryan and where he is continuing to develop coming into the season. Is there anything you're seeing with Matt Ryan that maybe you haven't seen the last couple of years?
I think it's not anything necessarily new, except he's just got such a good rapport with all his receivers. He's looked great throwing the ball to Roddy White, throwing the ball to Harry Douglas, throwing the ball to Julio Jones. He just looks confident, and, his arm looks great. I think that they've just given him more weapons. That's a great start.
Let's start with the weapon from Alabama. Julio Jones has been getting rave reviews from folks who have been watching him in Falcons camp. What are the expectations for Julio Jones this year from the Falcons staff?
Well, I don't want to, pump him up too much, but it's kind of impossible not to do that at this point. The coaching staff loves him. He's a selfless, team-first kind of guy. Every time you ask him, what he expects to do this year, he talks about, hey, I'll block if they need me to. But I would say somewhere in the realm of 50 catches, 800 yards and 6, 7, 8 touchdowns would not be out of the question. I mean, he's going to be a weapon from day one.
We're joined on the Southeastern Sports Medicine Wise Lines by Dave Choate. He's the editor-in-chief of the Falcoholic. Go to the website, thefalcoholic.com. Our NFL four-wide feature with the Atlanta Falcons continues. And obviously, look in the backfield, Michael Turner, man, that dude is a hoss. He's a horse. He's a big guy who can run as well. But if Michael Turner goes down, and, that's happened a time or two in his career, who do the Falcons have as a capable backup?
That'd be Jason Snelling. He was actually a free agent, and we almost lost him to a couple different teams. But he's a back in the same kind of mold as Michael Turner. He's a big guy, a little bit of a bull. But he can catch passes out of the backfield, too, which means he'll get some looks even when Turner's on the field. They also went out and drafted Jaquiz Rogers in the 5th round this year. He looks sharp. He's a little guy, very little, but again, very good at catching balls out of the backfield, very fast, elusive. So they've got some options, thankfully.
Yeah, man, I loved him out of Oregon State. Matter of fact, I'm surprised he slipped as far as he did in the NFL draft. Dave Choate joining us, editor-in-chief of the Falcoholic. Visit thefalcoholic.com. It's a great website. Our NFL four-wide feature continues with the Falcons.
And Dave, speaking of rookies, I'm just read your post on thefalcoholic.com talking about a wide receiver, this 6'4" guy out of Villanova, Brandon Harvey. What can you tell us about him? I mean, if this guy is pretty much under the radar. Of course, Roddy White is going to steal all the headlines. Everybody's looking at Julio Jones. Who's Brandon Harvey?
He's an interesting case. He came into camp last year as an undrafted free agent out of Villanova, and he was strong at first, but then you got the preseason game action. He just didn't look very good, so they waived him. Brought him back to the practice squad, and he's looked terrific this year. He looks like a whole new guy. Like you said, he's 6'4". He's got good hands. He runs crisp routes. He's looking like a good bet to make the roster if the team carries 6 wide receivers, and that's not a lock.
Dave Choate, editor-in-chief of the Falcoholic.com. Great website, blogs on the Atlanta Falcons.
Let's look at the defense on that side of the ball. Any changes from last year in terms of new arrivals or departures?
Really, it's just the one new arrival. That'd be Ray Edwards, who will be starting at defensive end opposite John Abraham. This is a guy who's never gotten double-digit sacks in his career, but he's got a good motor. He's a hard worker. We think he'll probably get at least 8. In the system, we have suddenly a ton of depth at defensive end. Everyone else is a returning player, but what I like about this defense is that it's so young, and it just got a year older, a year more experience, and there's an awful lot of talent there. So I think they'll be better by default.
And, Dave, as you look at, the Falcons overall, obviously the expectations are pretty high. I have them winning the NFC South. That's saying a lot with New Orleans. What's the buzz around Atlanta? What are the expectations with the fans?
They're very, very high this year. I'd be lying if I didn't say that people are talking Super Bowl already, which is a little bit ahead of where I am, I guess.
Careful,
Yeah, exactly. But you know, they do. They look great already, and it's kind of hard to tamp down those expectations. I mean, they were 13-3 last year. They look better this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, we appreciate you stopping by. This has been a great chat, and certainly the Falcons are in the Panthers division. The Panthers obviously looking to bounce back, but with the New Orleans Saints and, of course, the Falcons and the much-improved Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the division, it's going to be a dogfight, no doubt about that. We're looking forward to following the Falcons. And, Dave, if any breaking news breaks on the Falcons, we'd love to have you back, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. There you have it, Dave Choate, editor-in-chief of the Falcoholic. Go to the website, thefalcoholic.com. Our NFL 4-wide feature continues, well, right up until Friday, September 9th, as we take it right up to the beginning of the NFL season.
Almost there, man.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. I'm so excited.